Now I will speak about the theory which lies behind social protection policies and in particular the social protection floor. Social insurance is based on principles such as solidarity or shared responsibility, and when we advocate to the government or to civil society, we need people to accept the idea of contributing for the others and not only for the most destitute. So what is the social contract? Well, the social contract is an implicit contract, an agreement to live together and to share some rights and duties. So there is an idea of exchange, and it can be within the family, within your community, but most commonly when we speak about the social contract, we refer to this implicit agreement between the government and the governed. So this definition of rights is not fixed. It can evolve, and that's what the former Prime Minister of Thailand, Abdication Vejjajiva, said in the Davos Forum, saying that Thailand is still in the process of drafting the social contract and of defining the tasks and the objectives of the government. But why do people want to live together? Well, we should examine the philosophical theory behind the social contract, and most of them, they try to determine what the origin of society was. So the starting point is the state of nature, that is to say, human condition out of any political order. So we can wonder what would be the state of nature? How would be the human condition without any public authorities, without any policies? Well, according to Hobbes, who is an English philosopher of the 17th century, and who is actually the first who tried to articulate this theory of the social contract, in the state of nature, human beings are fundamentally equal and free. They are fundamentally equal because they are able to kill each other. So it's not equal in terms of rights or anything, it's because everybody is able to kill everybody. And it didn't matter how strong you were, since the weakest could actually kill you by putting some poison in your drink. And human beings were fundamentally free because they were unrestrained. They could do whatever they wanted. And it was morally acceptable to take violently things from your neighbor. So what is the problem with being fundamentally free and equal? Well, life sucks because it's a continuous fear and violence. And I quote the chapter 13 of the Leviathan. Life is solitary, poor, nasty, brutish, and short. Life is a war of all against all. And you have no time to try to improve your life or have some productive activity, such as agriculture, because you always have to prepare for defense. But as human beings are rational, they decided to form the social contract, which is this agreement to live in society. And so it's an agreement between the ruler and the ruled. And I spoke about a kind of exchange of rights and duties. Well, there is an exchange here because the ruler has to take care of the masses and to guarantee security. But in exchange, people have to give up all their freedom. That means that person A gives up its freedom to kill person B. And person B gives up his or her freedom to kill person A. So we can already see the opposition and the choice that we have to make between total freedom and security. But does it mean that society is really the end of all freedom? Well, that's not what thinks Jean-Jacques Rousseau, the French philosopher of the 18th century. Because if for Hobbes, freedom is when the law is silent, for Rousseau, real freedom truly begins when the law starts. Because what we lose with the social contract is our natural liberty, the liberty of doing whatever we want. But what we gain with the social contract is civil liberty, property, and above all, moral liberty, which is, and I quote, what makes man truly the master of himself, for to be driven by appetite alone is slavery, and the obedience to the law that one prescribes for oneself is freedom. So this is freedom under the general will, because we do no more than obey to ourselves. Now this vision can be more or less shared by government or citizens in a country, and it will actually influence the way that social protection is designed and implemented. So you could try to wonder, okay, is my country more Hobbesian or Rousseauist?